The brain surgery recovery journey can be like starting a long road trip without a map, and there is a thunderstorm on the horizon.
G'day, I'm Joel. I'm a personal trainer from Bondi Beach, Australia. And in March 2020, I had a tumour removed from my brain. I created this YouTube channel to bring motivation, support, and insights to anyone going through a brain surgery journey of their own. I would love to help as many patients and their families as possible. If what I am saying is helpful, please like and subscribe.
Alrighty guys, welcome back warriors. How are you all? I hope you're all well. So in today's video, we will discuss brain surgery and the fear of not knowing what's in front of you, the long haul. So this question was posted in the comments by Nancy. Nancy, great question, so thank you for it. She's part of our community, and I'm going to try and answer her question now in 3 parts. So part number 1, we're going to talk about the things that we commonly worry about, which is a lot. So the list is very long, so wait around for that. Number 2, we are going to talk about accepting that we can't know the future. We're not psychic. We don't have a glass ball. And each of our journeys are all different. So that's point number 2. Guys, point number 3, what I'll hit on at the end of the video, are the things I do to cope with the fear of unknowing and how I stay positive in a good frame of mind. So guys, let's circle back to point number 1. So things for us to commonly worry about. We aren't psychic, blah, 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 brain surgery. We aren't psychic. We don't know what's happening in the future. And that fear of not knowing, will my walking get better? Will my sight get better? Will this fatigue go away? Will this dizziness get better? Will my anxiety calm down? We don't know. I'm nearly 5 years out from my surgery. I had surgery in March 2020. Loads of things have improved, and I'm grateful, and I'm very, very lucky. I couldn't walk. I can now walk. I'm not perfect. I still can't run very well, but I can walk. I couldn't swallow food for 3 months. I can now swallow food. I can now swallow drinks. It's not perfect. I still have to really focus, but I can still struggle that. I had severe double vision. I couldn't see anything for like 2.5 months. I can now see. It's not perfect. I get severe dry eye in my left eye, and that can make my eyesight go from perfect to completely blurry in a day. But yeah, it is better. It's better than severe double vision and not being able to see at all. So guys, those are things that do improve, but there are still loads of things that I worry about in the future. Will I ever run again properly? Will I ever be able to use my left hand and is severely uncoordinated better? Can I carry 2 beers away from a bar instead of just one at a time? Will I ever get rid of this fatigue? Will I be able to train 5 days a week again? There's loads of stuff we worry about, which can also make us anxious. And I don't know if you watched the video prior to this one, but go check it out. It's all about anxiety and how we ruminate and manifest and stress ourselves out with anxiety. There's loads of things we worry about. There's heaps and heaps and heaps of stuff, but the big boppers are, for me, dizziness, fatigue, and the physical symptoms of lack of coordination and fine motor skills on my left hand. I know a lot of you out there that I chat with in the comments, you fear not being able to come back to your old physical self and your old athletic ways. And some of you just fear the fear, as funny as that sounds, but you know what I mean? Like not knowing what's going to happen and if you're going to improve. And I always navigate back to the fact that no 2 brain surgery recoveries are ever the same. One person might have a full recovery, one person may not. I've spoken to people in the comments before that started off like me, had a few physical deficits, but then eventually came good after years and years and years of brain surgery. I've spoken to other people who, you know, they've recovered a little bit, but they're never going to be back to how they were before their surgery. And I guess alluding on to point number 2 is we've got to just accept that this is the way we are now. We're a new person after brain surgery. If you do fully recover, incredible. I'm stoked for you. It may or may not be on the horizon for all of us. If we're here to share our stories and our worries after brain surgery, I feel we're the lucky ones. There are millions of people who die from brain cancer and brain tumors every year. So if you're here watching this video and I'm here being able to tell my insights, we're pretty lucky. As annoying as the symptoms and the side effects and not being our old self are, sadly, we're far luckier than those people who have succumbed to brain cancer. So, um, yeah, I always look at myself as being very, very, very lucky. And yeah, guys, we need to accept that we can't predict the future. Um, one of my favorite quotes that I always revert back to is one day at a time and just focusing on today. If you focus on today, you're not worried about the future and you won't get anxiety and stress yourself out and trying to predict will I ever be able to box again or rock climb or surf or do those things that you did before brain surgery. Also, as well, if you focus on today, you're not stressing about the fear of the future, what's to come, what's to, etc., etc. So yeah, point number two is just accepting the fact that we can't predict it. We don't know what's going to happen. Everyone's brain surgery journey is always so different. So, guys, the three things that kind of keep me level headed. Oh, sorry, point number three, the things that keep me level headed and keep me in a positive frame of mind. So, I always put things into perspective. I alluded to this a minute ago. We could be one of the unlucky people that actually succumb and die to their brain cancer. I'm so grateful and lucky that I'm still here because, yeah, I had a brain tumor, right? I still have a brain tumor. It could have grown aggressively and killed me, but it didn't, touch wood. And I'm so grateful to be here to share my insights. Yes, I could get frustrated that I can't run, that I can't do burpees, that I can't run up and down staircases like I used to, that I can't play football, that I can't surf. But I'm here. I'm accepting that point. I'm going to try and do all those things I just listed in the future. And that's why I do rehab and try and get better physically and my mobility. But yeah, put things into perspective. You could be way, way worse off. Sadly, you could be dead. As you know, as macabre and melancholy as that sounds, it's just me being realistic and honest. And also as sad as it sounds, we could be way off, way, way worse. I've spoken to people who have far severer symptoms than me, and probably far severer symptoms than you. I know people who are in wheelchairs, who are paraplegics, who are quadriplegic. These people are far worse off than you and I. And we've got to put things into perspective. When we go to that dark place of frustration and anger, why me, pity party, put it into perspective. These people that are in wheelchairs, for my example and my situation, would die to be in my scenario. I can walk, I can get to work, I can go outside and play with my son. You know, I can get up out of his chair. And yes, there's many things that I can't do compared to the old Joel, but I just put it into perspective on the things I can do. You know, one of my favorite other sayings is move because you can. Do what you can. If you can get up and go for a walk, go for a walk. You know, I can't go for a big run along the beach anymore because I'll probably get hit by a car because my peripheral vision's horrible and I can't tell what's coming. But yeah, just be really kind of grateful for the situation you find yourself in, even though it may not be as optimal as your old situation. So yeah, that's one thing I always do. I always put things into perspective. I always look at things in my past as well as why I'm so positive, and I can probably put it down to if you'll kind of let me go off on a tangent for a little bit. So when I was younger, I had a mate, and his mum was in a wheelchair. And then sadly, after being in a wheelchair, she passed away. So my mate, at a very young age, he was about 14, had a mum in a wheelchair. When he was 15, he didn't have a mum. And then his dad got quite depressed of his mum passing away and became a bit of an alcoholic and a bit of a substance abuser. And then a year later, his dad passed away. So here's my mate at the age of 15, 16, who has no parents. He's lived through a parent who's had a wheelchair, a parent who's had a substance abuse and alcoholism problem. And that really made me think, all right, Joel, touch wood, your parents are both alive. They're both fully functioning. They both have no addictions at all, touch wood. Like, I kind of put things into perspective and, like, it made me a bit more of a positive person because I'm like, what do I have to be angry or upset or depressed or dark about, when my mate, whose parents have both passed away, he's being brave and getting on with his life. So yeah, that was kind of a big turning point in my life, and it was only after reflecting on the weekend around why I'm so positive. Part of me, I think that was a big turning point in my life. Um, yeah, the other main thing I do to cope with the fear of the unknown and how I navigate my brain tumor journey with positivity, even though, heaven forbid, a brain tumor could grow back. I could have all these physical symptoms take over my life severely once more. The other thing I do every day, I do meditation for 10 minutes every morning. So the first thing I do when I wake up, I do mindfulness meditation. You can jump on YouTube. A good friend of mine, his name is Chibs, Chibs. He's got a great YouTube channel. He's got loads of different mindfulness meditations. He has the most incredibly calm and soothing voice. It's as if Morgan Freeman had a British son. So go check his page out. I'll put the link in the comments below. But yeah, I listen to one of his meditations every morning. And what meditation does, and you may notice from the video I posted yesterday, when you're focusing on your breathing, you're not focusing on the future that you're worrying about or the to-do list or your symptoms. You can't worry about those things if you're focusing on your breath, in through your nose, out through your mouth. When you're focused on your breath, you're being mindful of the present, the here and now, the one day at a time. And you're not off catastrophizing about the future or worrying about, to quote Nancy, the long haul worry about, the uncertainty. And yeah, guys, those are my tips around how I get around it. And don't get me wrong, we're all human. It is obviously normal if you've got a brain tumor or you just have brain surgery to worry about the future. But my tips are just, put things into perspective and focus on the today and the now and what you can control today, and do mindfulness every day, guys. It takes 10 minutes. Alrighty, I'll wrap up that video by just saying, if you have a surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, or a procedure, or MRI results coming up, I wish you nothing but the best and good luck and sending positive vibes. Alrighty, guys, I'm out. Peace.